She's passionate about telling stories of amazing women who are rocking the world and empowering women to live, love, and thrive. Here's your host, Katherine Gray.
Hey, welcome to Live, Love, Thrive, Women's Empowerment Hour, brought to you by 360 Karma. Today, we have on an extraordinary woman, Dr. Theresa Ashby. We actually met through NABO, the National Association of Women Business Owners, which has many chapters in California. We're going to talk about that. She's also one of our She Angels coaches and an amazing woman who goes into companies and helps the employees to have a single vision and helps them to feel secure and appreciate it. And we're going to ask her how she does that and why she does that. So excited to have her on today. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Theresa Ashby. Hi, Theresa. How are you?
Excellent. And thank you so much. This is so exciting to be here with you today.
Well, thank you. Back at you. I love the red, the power color. Woohoo! Power women.
That's right.
I just love what you do, and I want to talk about, as I always do, I like to look at people's background and their journey to what they're doing and why they're doing it. And so I love that you go into companies and help create an atmosphere where there's like this singular vision, like everybody's on the same page. Right. And they have this feeling of security and belonging. So many people, I think, work in companies where they don't feel that. And let's face it, we spend a lot of our time at work.
A lot of our time at work.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about how you do that, how you implement that, because that's such a gift, and why you do it. Yeah. But first, let's talk about your journey. So you actually are a native Californian, right?
Born and raised in California.
Yeah, I think you're the only one.
I think you're right. I guess it goes to show you how much I love sunny California.
Yeah. Well, seriously, when people are born here, like my wife too, I'm thinking, where would you go? I mean, really, does it get any better than this? Right. I mean, are you moving to Peoria from Los Angeles? No, I don't know. Sorry, Peoria. Nothing wrong with Peoria. But really, this is as good as it gets. We've got great weather, great culture, great opportunities. Yeah.
Well, and my family's here.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's
very
number one.
Important too.
Number one. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we get to enjoy
Yeah.
Everything we get to do here, the beaches, the mountains, and of course, super close to the family.
But speaking of family, that's really where one of your biggest challenges in life was. I want you to tell people about what happened in your family when you were in high school.
Sure. Yeah, it's one of those things. You're going along and you have the family and things are working just fine. And all of a sudden one day you wake up to your uncle knocking on your door at the dorm out of the blue telling you that your brother passed away.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
It completely changes your life.
Right. In that 1 second, that delivery.
1 second.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And your brother passed away unexpectedly at age 21, right?
Almost 21.
21, wow.
Almost. He was in a car accident.
Wow.
And so it was very sudden. He was 2 years and 9 months older than I was.
Oh my God.
I was up at boarding school, and he and I were very, very close.
Yeah.
We actually, it was kind of the joke. He protected me, right? It's the big brother sort of protecting you.
Yeah.
But boy, he could beat up on me just fine. But he was always the one I called. And I think when you wake up the next morning after this happens and you can't call because something bad's happened, it's turned your world upside down.
Yeah, it's surreal, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. And so when something like that happens, it just changes our whole family dynamic, right? The whole your whole life changes.
Right.
And so you still have 2 sisters, right?
Absolutely.
And I know your mom's been great and great cheerleader for your career and things, but initially when that happened, as is often, as many listeners who may have lost a sibling or a family member at a young age, obviously your mother was just devastated, right? And so
she was. It was like her only son.
Yeah. Oh my
her
gosh.
oldest child.
Wow.
And, you know, we had a good community of friends and family, but you become very distant from them because you don't know how to interact anymore.
Right.
And although as a sister you feel one way, watching your mother go through that struggle and the sadness and trying to take care of the the three of us.
Yeah, painful.
Very painful to
Very
watch.
painful. Yeah.
And there was a decision I think we all made, all at different times, was, well, we have a choice. We either stay together as a family, or this is what breaks us apart because we can't deal with the emotion.
And it does break apart families. And I'm sure there's people listening that have that story, that it broke them apart. But thankfully, eventually, and I know it was a long struggle, it brought you all together. Like,
Yes.
yeah, so you have a tight family today,
Very
even though
much
you
so.
all struggled with it in your own different ways. And I know it took, Mom a long time to get through that. And, and that is what people do. They close themselves off, don't you think? Because they just can't take the pain of the loss. I mean, that would be totally understandable.
Of course. And you bounce between the pain and the anger and the pain and the anger. And when you're in anger, you don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
And then you flip to the pain, and then you just sort of want to withdraw even more.
Right.
But I think that having a good foundation that we had as a family also helped. But I had somebody come and mentor me. And the words were from that mentor, very simple. You have a choice. You can either choose to derail yourself, or you can keep your community and choose to do and go the right path.
Right.
Now, I might have gotten myself into a little bit of trouble, but I didn't completely go off the rails.
Right.
Which I think helped bring me through it.
Right. Because most people, when they have a tragedy, will turn toward substance abuse or whatever,
Correct.
So that's like kind of normal for people to do. But hopefully they do it before they get to the brink of no return.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you're a big believer then in having like a mentor.
Absolutely.
And that's why you're doing this work today. Like everything we always do in our life that's a tragedy or a challenge always seems to lead us to doing what our purpose is. Yes. And so I know you worked many years in leadership for a very big health organization.
Yes.
And that's, I take it, where you started to learn how to develop the culture that you now take into other companies, right?
Absolutely.
That gives people a sense of security and belonging, creating like a authentic atmosphere. That was your word, not mine, but it is a word I love. That, I mean, there's nothing better than going to work and feeling a sense of security and belonging, a sense of purpose and appreciation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you go in and cultivate that in companies. There are so many companies out there that I believe, just my Uber driver on the way here was telling me, that she'd worked for a company like, I was telling her about the show today, for a company that she did not feel appreciated or respected. And, I say, if you're working for that kind of company, get out. Get out and go find one that Theresa is
there we go.
cheering on and taking under her wing to help them cultivate that. So why do you this and how do you do it? Because I think that's what our listeners are going to want to understand, especially if they're business owners and they're wanting to cultivate this kind of environment for their employees.
Yeah. Well, I think the first part is really taking that leadership and saying, what is your actual vision? But not it being a siloed vision. It's bringing people to the table that are actually executing on that vision.
Right.
And I think sometimes we miss that part. We're so busy trying to create this beautiful strategy, and we know we want profit. We know we want, all these different things for our company to grow.
Right.
But we don't collaborate with people because we're almost afraid if we let them see us have a little crack as a CEO or a COO, in those chief operating positions. I think the more collective you can create this beautiful vision for your organization, and that helps create that culture and that foundation.
Now, based on what you just said, I think that people want to see the cracks.
I agree.
And they want to help those cracks.
Absolutely.
Because they want to feel like what they're doing makes a difference.
Yes.
And so I'm a really big believer in bringing a team of people who are really good at doing what they love to do that I'm not.
Right. Right.
And let them do it.
Let them do it.
And appreciate them for it. And this is what makes a great collective, right?
Yes. Yes.
Is bringing in the people to do the things that you don't even like doing, that you're not good at doing. If you're not, and P.S., if you don't like doing it, you're not good at it. Yeah. And let them do what they're really good at and what they love doing.
And they get energized by it. And then they do better. And then they bring other people in the organization on their team or in that culture, and they drive for the outcomes that you want.
Right. And then they want to see the company succeed, and they feel like they are an important cog in that wheel, and therefore wanting to do their best because it is that collective effort.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you, as an employer, make those people feel like what they do is important and appreciated?
Well, first of all, I think you have to be very clear on their role.
Right.
And what your expectation is of them in that role.
Right.
And then when they accomplish their goals, bring them and say thank you.
Yes.
And I think sometimes it's as simple as you accomplished the 5 goals we set for you. Thank you.
Right.
You're a part of this organization. You're a part of this team.
Right.
You're what is driving us forward.
Wow.
And I think you have to, visit. Where are they working? What are they doing?
Right.
How are they interacting with people? On the flip side, I think you also have to talk with them and say, you're not quite making it. You're not living up to our organizational values.
Right.
What do we need to do to help you?
Right.
Because when you help them, they're either on or they're off.
Right.
And then we have to make sure we're letting those people that need to get off.
Get off.
Yeah,
right.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
That's painful for me.
Right. But not really.
Better for the organization.
It's better for the organization. And honestly, it's better for the person because if they're in a role that they're not thriving and loving, they should go over somewhere else. I know I had let somebody go because they were not working out in a position at my company, and they went over somewhere and they couldn't be happier. They're doing what they love. I did them a favor.
You did them a favor.
Yeah. It's so important that people love what they're doing.
And I think you can make that happen if you have this, just depending on the size, you can make that happen within your organization. Or you know what, going back to coaching and mentoring, you can help them create opportunities to meet other people. It's not as though we have to say you're a bad employee, get out.
Right.
We have to say you're not working out here.
Right.
What do you want to do?
What do you want to be doing? Yeah. And really care about them.
Care about them.
Don't you think there's a lot of employers who, they have such an ego that they want to feel everything is their idea. They don't allow the employees to have ideas.
Right.
They listen to the employees' ideas, implement them, and take them as their own. That is like so common, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it is. And I found that for me, I learned, and it takes practice, but I learned to acknowledge when something was successful that my team did it.
Yeah.
And when things broke down, I took ownership.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Because if I'm watching my team and I'm helping my team and we still fail at it, I'm the leader, I'm the executive.
Right.
So I have to take onus to that. But I have to celebrate when things are going great.
Right, right.
And you cannot let your ego.
Right.
Now you have to have a little bit of an ego to be able to manage everything.
Right.
But not when it comes to your folks in your organization.
And I like to think of it as not even ego. I think it's like healthy confidence.
Ooh, I like that.
Like
You're
that?
right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Healthy confidence.
Yes.
Like believing in yourself. And women are really not good at that. And it's something that I really like to perpetuate in my community with 360 Karma and She Angels is that perpetuating that women build their confidence. We're in such a culture that women don't feel valued, they don't feel respected. They the smartest women, it always amazes me, have a lack of confidence. And it's our culture. And we have to treat younger women from the get-go, from very young, to believe in themselves.
Yes.
that they're smart, they're worthy, they're valuable. It's something I really want us to see change in this culture, and I hope we're perpetuating that.
Yes, I agree with you. We need to do that.
So putting this all together, going back to your childhood and this terrible loss of your brother, the fragmentation of the family at the time, and then putting the pieces back together, like you said, I feel like it's almost like you reenact that in your day-to-day business. I always think, whatever happened in somebody's life that was a challenge, they take what they learned from that. And I think you were very instrumental in pulling the family back together, just like you come in and pull the businesses together. And it's just a very interesting dynamic to see where those skills came from.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you're right on.
Yeah.
I think you...
That and your PhD and your master's.
Yes. That did help a little bit, right? But that gave me the kind of the tactical foundation.
Right.
But when you step out and you look at...
It's life experience.
It's life experience. You look at that organization and you say, let's frame the organization.
Yeah.
And you're right. And it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
How do we put all the pieces together?
Yes.
And it's that last puzzle where when you see people take a deep breath in the organization and go, okay, I get it.
Yeah. So is that the most gratifying thing about what you're doing, is to walk into a company that is kind of dysfunctional and implement these strategies and have them say, oh my gosh, now it's cohesive, it's running, people are happy, we're flourishing, we're more profitable. I would think that would be really gratifying.
It is so gratifying. I had one CEO say, I went and I said, okay, this was a fantastic opportunity. I really enjoyed it. I use a lot of we because I also think I'm part of that group now.
Yes.
I become a part of the organization.
Yeah.
And I said, what was it? She goes, you came in here and my hair was on fire with everything going on. And you put it out and you put us into this nice prevention mode.
I love that.
Yeah. And it really is the moment that I get to step out and watch how they flourish.
Yeah.
And when people hug you and say thank you, it's like I didn't do the hard work.
Yeah.
The people in the organization do the hard work. I'm just there to advise.
Right. I'm a big believer, though, in people needing guidance and needing mentors. And that's why when we launched She Angels, which, is a pitch fest that we do.
That's right.
We're doing the second season October 5th.
So exciting.
It is, because you're going to be involved with us. And we actually have the premiere of She Angels this weekend. Woo-hoo! And that's season 1. And it's... what it is it's a original film series about this pitch fest that we do, where prominent female entrepreneurs, business owners, get behind other female entrepreneurs that pitch their ideas, and they get behind them with funding and mentorship. And then we have coaches like yourself, of course, coach these women, and then we follow their journeys throughout the year. And that's what the series is about. And it's so fun to watch. And so inspiring, and to see the coaches give these women these light bulb moments, and that we can learn from just watching the series is what I love. Is that it inspires, I think, other women that are successful to get behind other female entrepreneurs, and it inspires women to get off the sidelines and get their ideas out there and get them funded. And that's what we want to do. We want to inspire those two things. We want to inspire women to help women, and that's really the genesis of it. And we haven't seen that a lot in the past, and I feel like with this women's movement, that's the direction that we're moving in, and I'm very excited about that. So whoever is the lucky pitch finalist that gets you as their coach is going to be really lucky.
Oh, well, thank you.
And we'll be filming the journey of them, taking your advice and implementing it into their companies, and that's going to be exciting. So there's a lot of pitch fests out there, but nobody's following the journeys like we are, and I'm super excited about it. We're launching that series online this summer, but the premiere is here live this Sunday, so we'll both be there. Yeah, in West Hollywood. And super excited about that. So glad to have you be a part of that.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
it. It's the right thing to do
Yeah.
for women business owners.
Yes, yes. They need the mentorship. They need the funding. You know, you and I both know women only get less than 5% of venture capital funding.
Right.
Okay, that is just pathetic. So we're really on a mission to help change that. And one of the ways is educating people about the fact that we're so underfunded.
That's right.
And then putting out a solution of, well, how are we going to fix that? And so the show is one of those ways, educating people, inspiring people. And then we're creating an interactive platform where people can actually participate, help build a fund that's going to fund women around the world. And so that's where we're headed. We met through NABO, the
sure did.
National Association of Women Business Owners, who's one of the media partners for She Angels.
Yes.
Yay. And you're part of NABO California, which has how many chapters? Like 10?
12 right now.
12
Yeah.
around the state of California. And you are one of the ones heading up Orange County, right?
So I'm the past president of Orange County.
Past president,
which
hello.
Orange County is a fabulous chapter.
Yeah,
we love
I
it.
bet.
And then I moved to be on the board of California NABO.
Oh, that's wonderful. And let's tell the viewers a little bit about NABO.
Sure.
So if they are a business owner, there are chapters all over the country.
Yes.
So wherever they are, they can go join, and it's a wonderful wealth of resources and support system for them to
right.
belong to.
It is, and I think it's in addition to those resources, it's that collaborative of hearing what other people are doing in their businesses, but it's also an advocacy group. And we really do a lot of advocating for businesses and women in business.
Didn't they have something to do way back when about helping women to pass the law to get
We sure did.
credit cards?
Oh, credit cards?
Yes.
Loans without a male signature,
Yeah.
even if it was an 18-year-old son of yours.
Wow.
So they helped pass that. They've been doing a lot of work with getting more women on corporate boards.
That's great. It's hard, I'm sure, for the millennials to realize that they couldn't get a woman could not get a credit card on her own, could not get a business loan on her own. This is a different world thanks to organizations like NABO.
Right.
So they can look up NABO, N-A-W-B-O, California, CA.
Correct.
Or LA here.
Correct.
Or just the national
Just
one,
national
no matter
one,
where they
and
are.
it'll show you all the organizations that are.
Yeah. Why did you join that organization, and what have you gotten from it?
Well, I came out of corporate.
Yeah.
And so you kind of go, I want to start up my own consulting practice. What do I do?
Right.
And every time I had researched going out on my own, that organization popped up.
I love it.
And it's the only one that has that O for owner.
Yeah.
So it really represents helping you start your business.
I love
and
that.
running your business and growing your business.
Right. And I think there's a lot of people out there in corporate America right now, women thinking about starting their own
they
business.
are.
So they will definitely look up NABO.
They've got to look up NABO.
Yeah.
And it's whether you've started your business,
You're
growing
business?
your business, or you want to support other women in your businesses. This is
Yeah.
why we've collaborated with She Angels, because it's so important that we
Yes.
create a community of people helping women drive their businesses.
I love that. And NABO California has an event coming up called Propel.
Yes, we do.
And so people can Google that.
Yes, Google that,
It's coming
sign
up the
up.
end of April, and people can come attend it. I believe it's in Sacramento.
It is in Sacramento,
Yeah.
and one of the days we actually go talk to some of our legislators and
I love
express
it.
some of the things that are going on in business.
Fantastic. So your website is the name of your company, Dynam Consulting.
Yes.
People can also Google Dr. Theresa Ashby.
Yes.
And they can certainly look up NABO.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget She Angels.
And
We'll keep
don't
you
forget
busy
She
all
Angels,
day.
yeah.
Check us out, folks.
Yes.
We're just moving, shaking, and trying to help some women create successful businesses. So thank you so much for being on.
Yes, thank you. This was wonderful.
You're an inspiration, and I love that you're collaborating with us and just going and helping businesses to flourish and become the kind of authentic environments that more companies need to. And you're doing wonderful work.
Thank you.
Thank you
Glad
for
to
being
be a
here.
part of it.
All right, we will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in every week here at noon. Make it a great week. Hugs and happiness. Thanks, Theresa.